start sitting in crisscross. If it's not comfortable for you to sit like this, place something under your thumb like a pillow or a yoga block, or you can have the legs outstretched in whatever position is comfortable for you. And just really ground down into the sit bones. See if you can feel like you've got even weight between the two. And then we're just going to do some pelvic tilts. I'm going to show you side on. So stack your body up on top of the pelvis, and then as you breathe in, arch your low back, and as you exhale, tuck your tailbone and round the low back. Okay. Inhale to arch forward, tip onto the front of the sit bones, and exhale, rocking back, finding the back of the sit bones and the tailbone. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. As you exhale, draw your hip bones towards each other, belly button towards the spine. Good job. Bring your arms up, take a deep breath into the sides of the rib cage. Filling the ribs with air. Soften the shoulders at the top if they've climbed up to your ears. And exhale. Connect to your core as you blow out. Drawing your core towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Relax into your hip joints. Keep the left hand down, lift that right hand up, reach and get tall through the right side of the body. And back down. Inhale, lengthen as you lift up and over, like you're coming up and over a dainty little flower. Make sure the shoulders don't climb up towards the ears. Last one to each side. There was a beautiful half moon last night, so I thought I'd start our series with our half moon stretch. Good job. Okay, we're going to come and bring those legs out, feet about yoga width apart, yoga mat hip width apart, and you're going to be having the hands behind you in this position. Just rock the knees to one side, the top hip can lift, and rotate the other way. Just windshield wipering those hips from side to side. Don't worry if you can't reach the floor with the knees. Keep those elbows relaxed, just warming up those hips. Good job. 1 more to each side. You can lift that hip and get a bit of a stretch of the front of the pelvis. Good job. Okay, nice. And then we'll come onto hands and knees. Hands underneath your shoulders with the palms spread out. Weight bearing through the fingers and the heel of the hand, not just the heel of the hand. And knees underneath your hips. Inhale to lengthen into your cow stretch. And exhale. Press the ground away as you round into that angry cat stretch. Inhale, lengthen the spine. See if you can widen the collarbones and shine the heart forward. Exhale as you round. Notice what your neck does and just keep the ever so slight chin tuck even as you lift the head forwards. Focus on lengthening between each spinal bone. Good job. Find your neutral. Okay. I'm going to tuck the toes underneath you, elbows soft, and we're going to do some knee hovers. So take a breath in and feel the belly relaxing down towards the floor. As you exhale, gently lift your tummy towards your spine, as if the hip bones drawing towards each other, belly button up, and the ribs in slightly. If this position is uncomfortable on your hands, feel free to adjust to your fists, or roll the towel up so that you've got a bit of cushioning. Inhale, and this time we're going to exhale and then hover those knees up so they're just an inch off of the mat. Keep your shoulder blades steady, pressed against the side of the rib cage, and lower back down. Inhale to lift, hover those knees, breathe in, exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Last one. See if you can hold it for 2 breaths. Feel your core start to wake up. And lower. Good job. Take a rest. Press back into child's pose. Relax those wrists. Breathe into the shoulders, into the low back. Just relax into it. Good job. Okay. We are going to come onto your side. Place a pillow under your head or a yoga block, or use your arm. You can place something under the waist as well if you feel like you're getting a big divot on that top side. Inhale to open up into rotation. Exhale to close. If this is too much on your shoulder, just do it with the elbow bent. A lot of us are really stiff in our upper spine, so it's okay to modify. Do 2 more. Try and keep your knees gently pressing into each other to keep the pelvis stable and rotate through the upper spine. This time we're going to stay in that twist and just breathe for a deep breath in and out. Letting your body settle into that twist. 1 more. Good job. Well done. We'll stay here. I'm going to come into some glute med work. So stretch that top leg out. Again, having a little pillow under the waist can be really helpful. And if your hip's not liking the pressure on it, then you can always pop a little pillow under there as well, or a towel. Have your foot in line with your hip. And you shouldn't be able to see your toes, so have it kind of back a little bit. And then just bring it back a little bit more without arching the back. So keep the core engaged, belly button kind of lifting up towards the ribs a little bit. And then place your hand onto glute med, side of the hip, and lift that leg up and down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower to hip height. And down. Now if you're not feeling glute med, or you're getting any pinching or burning around the sit bone, you might be using the wrong muscle. So just bring your hips slightly further behind you and turn your toes downwards and heel up a little bit, and that should help you find a little bit more of that glute med. Keep your core engaged, but try and relax your shoulders and the ribs. We'll do 2 more. And last one. Good job. Now we're going to come into some rainbows. So you're going to bring the leg forwards and tap down, back, behind and tap down. That might be quite a stretch for some people. So just go as far as you can without tipping your pelvis. So you want to keep that belly button facing slightly down and diagonal. And this one in particular can be really great to do in front of a mirror, or place a water bottle straight behind your pelvis and check that you don't rock by making sure you don't knock it over. Last 2 and last one. So you should feel the side of that hip now. Good job. Take a rest. Well done. We're gonna come onto the side of the body here. Sorry, onto the forearm. Elbow kind of under the shoulder and hands just straight flat. You can turn the hand if that's more comfortable. And just have your knees back a little bit so the hips are in line with the elbow and shoulder. You're going to press into your bottom knee to lift yourself up into a side plank. Slowly lower down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. The main force comes from that hip. You're pushing that bottom knee into the floor to lift your hips up. You might also feel the obliques and the core working. Keep your shoulder blades stable. Last one. Good job. Bring the legs into a mermaid position, so Z sitting. So one shin forward and then this knee bent out. Bring that right hand up and over. Good job. Okay, we're going to change sides for that whole 3 exercises. So come and lie down. Place your hand underneath your head or a pillow. Can pop something under your waist as well if needed. And we're just going to start with the hand, top hand stretching out. Inhale to open up, stretch back. Exhale back to center. Keep the knees gently pressing into each other. Inhale to rotate. Exhale back to center. Good job. And just like on the other side, if you need that elbow bent to protect your shoulder or any of the nerves that might be a bit irritated by this move, then go for it. It's your body, your practice. You're going to come into that rotation and pause and just breathe into it, letting the body relax. Good job. Back to center. Nice. You're going to bring that top leg out. Shouldn't be able to see the toes. Leg is kind of in a straight line. And should feel glute med working, so top of the side of the bum and not the muscle that's really up close and deep next to the sit bone. Okay. We're going to lift that leg up, making sure that we don't divot at the waist. Okay, keeping our core engaged as we lift up and down. One side's always a little bit trickier than the other. And this side's already been working in your side planks. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. If you have a hard time finding glute med, bring the legs slightly further back and tip the toes down. Keep the core engaged. Let that muscle lift you, and then as it lowers, let it relax. Good job. 3 more. And last one. And we'll come into our rainbows. So tapping ahead of you and tapping behind, making sure you're not rocking your pelvis. So that bottom leg is working to help keep you stable with your core. The shoulder stays relaxed. You might be a little bit tighter on the side of the hip on this side, so Might not be able to get as low as the other side. Again, just go with what your body can do. If you just get to here, that's fine. 2 more. And last one. Good job. Come into your side plank. So elbow bent, shoulder underneath, elbow underneath the shoulder, and the hips back in line with the shoulder as well. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, press your feet or your knees down into the mat to lift yourself up. And inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Goal is to feel a bit of that glute med driving that leg down into the mat to lift you. Bit of the core and obliques. Think about gently drawing your arm in towards your side. If you're having a hard time finding those bottom obliques. Last 2. And the last one. Good job. Bring your knees into your mermaid or Z-sit. Stretch that left hand up and over. Breathe into it. Really nice. Good job. Okay. Let's come down onto your back. Just get yourself centered. Bring the shoulders down, relaxing away from the ears and onto the mat. And check in with your feet, see if you can feel weight through the heels and through the ball of the foot as well, on the inner side and the outer side next to the little toe. Notice where your breath is moving. Inhale, open the knees up. Exhale, connect to your core as you bring those legs back together. The feet can be hip width apart, or they can be close and touching. Whatever feels natural for you today. You should feel the inner thighs gently lifting the legs back up against gravity. Inhale to relax. Exhale, coming in. You don't need to go far to challenge your core. Good job. Now we're going to bring the arms up above your shoulders. Gently let them drop down. And inhale, reach your right arm back behind you, making sure the rib doesn't lift on that right side. So keep a connection between that right rib and your left hip bone. Exhale back to center. Same on the left side. Inhale, the left arm comes back. The rib stays connected, gentle chin tuck. Exhale to center. Inhale with the right, coming back. Exhale with the left. One more to each side. Good job. Okay, nice. We'll bring those arms back down. And we're going to come into a staggered bridge. So just keep your right foot where it is, but bring the left foot slightly further away from you. Okay, so it's just a little bit further away than the right foot. And then check that your pelvis is level to start. Gently press into the mat or the floor with your hands flat, pushing a little bit through the tricep at the back of the arm. Collarbones are wide and the chin is gently tucked in. Push into your feet to lift your hips and pelvis up, making sure you don't lift the ribs out of alignment, so keep that spinal alignment. You should have slightly more weight in the right leg, so the right glute and hamstring are working a little bit harder. So inhale to lower back down. Good. Exhale, tuck the tail and lift the hips up. Slightly more weight in the right leg still. Inhale to lower. If you want more of a challenge, lift that left leg into tabletop. Do the same thing, trying to keep your pelvis level as you do this single leg bridge. Now your right knee wants to be staying in alignment over the foot the whole time. So try not to let it tip out to the side by slightly engaging the inner thigh. Last one. Good job. Lower that left leg down in line with the right foot and then just walk the right foot slightly further away. So now we're going to bias the left leg. Tuck the chin, settle your shoulders and back. Take a breath. Good job. Now ground into that left foot, feeling the heel, the big toe mound and the little toe mound. And then slightly tuck the tail and lift those hips up. Make sure you haven't lifted your ribs up out of alignment. So working mostly through that left glute and hamstring. Tuck the tail and lift the hips up and lower. If you want a progression, float that right leg into tabletop, lower the hips down and lift back up. Make sure you don't drop that right side pelvis lower than the left one. You can use the backs of the arms to help you if it's challenging, but if it feels like you're not in control, then maybe come back to with that right leg down. Make sure the left knee isn't drifting off to the side by having a little bit of engagement through the inner thigh. Last one. Good job. Just hug those knees in. Take a breather. Good job. Just finish with some extensions. So come and lie on your belly. Reach your right leg out and away. Same on the left, just to make a little bit more space in your pelvis. And then start with having the chin tucked in, back of the neck long. And just gently press your pubic bone into the mat to lengthen your low back. Lift those arms off the mat and just hover them there. Back down. Lift your head off the mat, keeping the chin tucked. And lower back down. Now see if you can lift the head and the arms, keeping the chin tucked. And you'll feel the muscles in the back working. See if you can keep a slight tuck of the pubic bone into the mat. Lower down. Inhale to float up. Think about lengthening the spine as you lift. Exhale to lower. If it's too challenging to do without the hands helping, just keep them on the floor and gently press into them. Inhale, lift. Getting as tall as you can through the spine. Good job. Press back into child's pose. Feet nice and wide. Coming down. relax into it. Let go. Good job. Okay. You're going to finish on your back. Feet and knees together, hands out to the side. Just rock your knees over to the left side. Right hip will lift, but keep the right shoulder on the mat. And just get a gentle stretch through the right side of the body. Your knees might not come as far down as mine, that's fine. Exhale to center. Inhale, reach the other way. Exhale. The core and obliques, bring the legs back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Try and keep your knees in alignment with each other. Last one to the left. And last one to the right. Good job. Nice. Hug that right leg in and stretch the left leg out. And just rotate your left hip so that the toes point inwards and outwards. Inwards, knee and toes pointing in and outwards. One more. Inwards and outwards. Change sides. Hug the left knee in, that right leg stretches out. And then just rotate the right leg in and out. Make sure you're not just moving at the ankle, but your knee is rotating inwards and outwards too, so that the movement comes from the hip. Good job. We're all done. I hope you have a wonderful day.